Hey you guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. It's Breezy. So today we are going to be doing this look. I have paint all over my hands. But today we are going to be doing this look. This is my cotton candy half face skull glam look. And yeah, so if you want to see how to get this look, go ahead and keep on watching. Alrighty, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is actually, so just to start, I am starting off with my base already on. I've done this look once before, and I found that it was easiest to go ahead and just start with most of the makeup that I'm gonna do, right? So I did foundation, I did concealer, I did eyebrows, and yeah. I actually had a full face of makeup on and took my eye makeup off. So that really worked out for me just because I had stuff to do today. But yeah, I go ahead and start with my base done. And then the first thing that I'm gonna go in with is the Mehron Makeup Face Paint Palette. You do not have to use face paint for this look. I am because I have a face paint palette. So I'm starting with this. The white is well loved, as you can see. I'm starting with this palette, but I did do the same effect with black eyeliner, and it turned out just as good. This is actually gonna be my first time doing this look with face paint, so fingers crossed. But the first thing that I'm gonna do is go ahead and map out the lines of the skull right here. So, and in case you're curious, this is water activated paint. So in case you don't know, these come dry in the pan. And then when you start with them, you use water, obviously. And then, yeah, that activates it for you, and then the paint becomes activated. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. And I'm gonna be mapping out exactly where it is that I want my skull. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking in my mirror. And basically, I just do this from like the bridge of my nose to basically like the top of my ear, if you can see that.
Perfect.
Alrighty, so that part is done. Alrighty, so the next thing I'm gonna do is map out the rest of the face. So like from my chin through my jawline. With this, you can cheat a little bit if you want to. I don't include my double chin because that's just more flattering that way. And the thing with these lines is, if they're not perfect, frankly, it's not that noticeable, but like right here, as you can see, I have a little bit of a skip. We can turn that into like a little crack. So that's what I kind of like about this look. It looks a lot more complicated than it really is, honestly. Not that I'm like necessarily like a FX paint expert, because I'm not. Let me start by saying that. I just like to have fun with makeup, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so we have our baseline down. Looks a little crazy. That's because it is a little crazy, right? So I want to test and see. The first time that I did this look, I did a white base all the way through here. I really want to test and see if I can go without that, because that took a long time. So we're gonna see. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm gonna go in with is the Morphe x Jeffree Star eyeshadow palette. This is well loved in my house. Mine is kind of like beat up at this point. But I'm gonna be going in with the shade Pink. Oh, I just dug my nail to that. Pink Fleet right here. And I'm gonna go in with that. Alrighty, I'm gonna go in with that and this brush here. and just kind of, oh cool, it's like just as vibrant, so you don't have to use a white base. Now this really also depends on your skin tone, right? Like my foundation is pretty light as it is, so I think that probably helps. If you have a deeper skin tone than I do, I would maybe go in with white underneath. The first time that I did this, I used the NYX Jumbo eye pencil in milk and just like scribbled that all over basically. I'm sure you can also use like a white face paint, or you can use some type of like white eyeshadow base. You can do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this and just start really laying that down and building that up. And what I'm trying to do right now is just kind of fill in these corners and like almost create like this like V U type shape. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Like I swear this look looks dumb until it's done. Like the first time that I did this, when I was like practicing, I have a picture of it, I'll insert it somewhere in the video. But the first time that I did this look, I literally like halfway through was like, I'm just gonna take this off. Like it looks so dumb. It's not turning out the way that I want it to. I hate it. And now that I've done it once, I kind of know like what I don't want to do. With it, you know, there's some things that I did that I kind of regretted and didn't want to do. And that's also why I was like, let me go in with face paint instead of eyeliner. The eyeliner works, but the face paint, I have it, so I just wanted to use it. Making sure these are even on both sides. And make sure you're filling that in all the way to the line so there's no like skin gaps. If that makes sense. So this is kind of our starting point. So we have the pink on the edges. I might bring it in a little bit. I'm gonna look at my original picture and kind of see where I wanna go with it. So I will be right. All right, I'm putting my hair back because I'm just done dealing with it. So I am gonna bring the pink a little bit farther in, just a tad. And I'm gonna start from like the middle and bring that around so it's more opaque on the edges, and then it's a little bit more like faded, if that makes sense, towards the center. That way we can blend it into the other colors. Perfect. I don't know why, but like that day that I was practicing this, I was just like in a mood and like really feeling the like, I have always loved like cotton candy colors, right? And like that was where I really was like kind of taking inspiration from, is that like cotton candy, pink and blue. I used to have pink and blue hair. I loved cotton candy outfits, especially when I was like a scene kid. Those were like my two go-to colors. I remember I had, when they were still really popular, the like those Osiris shoes with the pink, like cotton candy pink and blue, and like those were like some of my like favorite shoes that I've ever owned. Alrighty, so the next thing I'm gonna do is go in with that same black face paint, or you can use a black eyeliner, and I'm gonna start mapping out. It's basically almost like a wishbone shape, if that makes sense, where the opening for the teeth is gonna be, and then like that line that goes through. I'm gonna be mapping that out first. That way, once I have that shape down, I'm gonna do the blue around it. So, going in with that same black water activated paint, or an eyeliner, whichever one. I'm gonna start with the line, and I'm just gonna take that up obviously into that corner. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Then I'm gonna go ahead and start with the U shape. So if you see the way that we did the pink, it kind of helps guide that a little bit where we want that shape at. Because if you bring this line in too long, that's okay, because we're gonna go over it with a little bit of like a dark black shade anyway to create that depth. So you can always go over it. That's what I like. This look is relatively forgiving. You know, relatively. Like, don't go crazy. Like, still try to be as precise as you can, but. So I'm gonna go in and start with my U shape. Okay. And then, and we can always go in and make these lines like darker later if we want to.
Perfect.
They're not super even, but it's fine. We'll just, you know, disregard it. Alrighty, so the next thing I'm gonna do, and I'm probably gonna bounce around a lot because that's just the way that my brain works. The next thing we're gonna do is go in with our blue shade. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go in with our blue shade. This brush is still stained from when I did this look the first time, and I haven't washed it since. I don't know what brush this is, but I'm just using like a big, it's almost like it's a super dense, like, blending brush, if that makes sense. This might be like some type of like concealer, like detail brush. Not 100% sure what brand, but something like this will do. So what I'm doing now is going in with, and it doesn't have to be this palette. This palette is super expensive to use one shade for. So if you can find a similar shade, which I'm sure you can in a different palette, but I'm going in with the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. The shade Laguna was like the perfect like cotton candy blue. So I'm going in with that. I just want you to know that my entire tripod just fell. Like, literally the entire thing just like toppled over while I was like trying to like about to start doing the blue. I was like, okay, sure, perfect. Just what I needed. But anyway, so now I'm gonna go in with that Laguna shade. Like I said, you don't have to have like a perfect edge or anything. I look crazy. You don't have to have like a perfect edge or anything because a lot of this is kind of like blended into each other, which is nice. It's a little bit more beginner friendly. And because of the different colors, it looks pretty complicated, but it's not. I'm all about looking like you put more effort in than you actually did. Work smarter, not harder. Okay, that's my actual life motto. Okay, so we're getting there. I really feel like this kind of makes me look like, I don't know like what the technical name is called, but like the wrestlers like Nacho Libre or like, what was his name? Like Rey Mysterio? You know what I'm talking about? Like the masks? Like I feel like when you're first doing this, you kind of look like that, or some type of like cotton candy superhero, which I'm all about. So then I'm gonna take that blue shade again and start that right here on the chin. So basically we're doing like the blue in the center, the pink on the edges, but then the very middle around the mouth, we're gonna do the pink again. And those like U shapes are kind of our guide where to like kind of stop the blue, if that makes sense. Because what we're gonna do is kind of really go in with some dark shades right here to deepen this up, but we're gonna go in with the pink and blacks and you know, all kinds of fun stuff. So. Alrighty, so the next thing that we're gonna do is go back in with our pink and start blending that around here. We're gonna like do a line and then like really buff that out. We're gonna do the same thing on the top. crazy right now, and that's because it is. Now I look like I have a cotton candy beard. And then what I'm gonna do next is go in with some concealer and actually block my lips out. Doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to wear, because my lips are really pigmented. Perfect. Or like dark, or whatever you wanna call it. And then I'm gonna set that with powder, just so it doesn't move. This definitely isn't like the most like, you know, moisturizing lip treatment ever, but you know. So next what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start mapping out the line for our mouth. Back to our face paint or black eyeliner, one of the two. And we're gonna do our lines. So I'm gonna start from the corner of my mouth and I'm gonna up and connect that, or at least try to, with this line. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna put some black shading there anyway, so. But, you know, try your best to be perfect. But in the words of Hannah Montana, nobody's perfect. I've gotta work it again and again until I make this right. So anyway, for that break for Hannah Montana, I'm gonna go in and go the other side. If you hear little snores, Teddy's asleep in my feet. So, and then I'm gonna take that same and black out the center of my lips. That way it just looks creepier. Then I'm gonna go in and start my little teethers. So I'm gonna draw a line straight up and down through the center of my lip. And then I'm gonna go in and just basically like, I don't know, what would that be, like a ½ an inch away. I'm gonna do that all the way through to make little teeth. So we have got our teeth started. Now we're gonna go in with our Jeffree Star Morphe palette again in the shade Vroom Vroom. We're gonna take this black. This is probably like one of my favorite black eyeshadows of all time. I'm gonna go in with that and we're gonna start deepening up right here where our teeth are gonna kind of lead into. So like what would be like the opening of the skull, and start packing that right here. And this is one shade that you do want to be careful with. You don't want to completely do like just like a big black triangle. You want to start with it being the deepest right here when you have the most pigment, and then we'll go in and start blending it out. So you're gonna pack as much as you can and then start. What I did was I went around this edge and kind of like deepen this up a little bit just so it's a little bit more prominent. Now you see why the line doesn't have to be exactly perfect. And then we're gonna start buffing that out. You really want that to fade into those teeth, if you can see that like blend there. And in case you're curious, this is a e.l.f. professional blending eye brush. It's a cheapy deepy. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Obviously, we're not gonna just leave it like this. So here we are, we're starting to come together a little bit. Then what I'm gonna do is go back in with that pink brush. I'm not gonna take any more than what's left on it from earlier, as far as I know. And we're gonna start kind of buffing over those teeth just a little bit to bring that pink down. We want that pink to kind of blend into the teeth. And I'm gonna take my black and just bring this down a little bit because my other side comes down a little bit more. That's what's nice about this look, is we can kind of like go back and forth and back and forth. Then what I'm gonna do here is go in with the NYX liquid eyeliner in white. And we're gonna start making little teethies and kind of like filling this in. So I'm gonna start with this front tooth and basically fill in between those black lines. Can I just tell you how hard it is to do like makeup sometimes when you don't have glasses or contacts on and you can really not see that well? I'm basically filling these in, and we're gonna go in and perfect them here in a second. And if you go over the black a little bit, don't worry about it because you can go in and fix it. You want to try to, if you can, not that I necessarily am a great example of it, if you can try to make the teeth a little bit smaller as they go back, it kind of gives that like effect. This, when I first did this makeup, it almost like gave me like Cheshire Cat vibes, which I'm really into. I love, 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 love Alice in Wonderland. Alrighty, so we've got the teeth pretty much done. What I'm gonna do is on some of these kind of basically like drag it up a little bit so it almost looks like the root of the tooth, if that makes sense. Like I did it on this one on accident, but you know. So I'm gonna go through these and just like, and this doesn't have to be perfect, just to kind of lengthen them a little bit. I'm really mostly doing it to the center teeth. The outside teeth are a little bit neglected. Now I'm gonna go in with that black face paint again and just kind of go between the teeth, make sure that that really stands out and just perfects that. And again, you can do this with black eyeliner. I'm a little heavy-handed on one of these black lines, so I'm just gonna go back with the eyeliner and clean that up just a little bit. Now what we're gonna go in and do is our nose. Again, same black face paint. There's really not a whole lot of products with this. I'm realizing halfway through doing it. Like, especially if you can do like, you know, like a face, like if you wanna do eyeliner instead of a face paint, like you know. What I'm gonna do is start with doing a circle, almost like a clown. And then what I'm gonna do is we wanna do like little we wanna do almost like, it almost looks like a cat to me, but like little like points at the top. So I'm gonna start with doing just lines. So I'm gonna do 1 and 2. And then I'm gonna take that to the corner. And then bring them in like this and connect them almost like an X motion. For some reason I like to make one higher than the other. You don't have to do that. I like to do that. So now what I'm gonna do is go in and add some like little cracks and imperfections. So same black face paint or eyeliner. I don't know, start where we made our mistake earlier. And to do that, I'm just gonna draw a line. And then squiggle, squiggle. And then maybe one more little squiggle. Easy. And we're gonna do that. See, before when I did this, I tried to make it like overcomplicated. I tried to do like little lines. I really want to stick with the cracks. I think it looks better that way. So I'm gonna add another crack like right here. I'm like, does it look like a crack or does it look like a stick figure? I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep trying. That's all you can do, right? And I'm gonna do another, where do I wanna do it? Let me do another one like right here. Maybe I'll do like a little tiny squiggle like right here. That's cute. And then maybe, where'd I put that one? I'm gonna do one like right here, but like going this direction. And then like a... All right, so the hard part's done. This is the hardest part. Then here is all I did for the eyes is, and you're gonna be like shocked at how simple this is. I'm gonna go in with that same brush and that same pink. And I'm gonna pack that all over. And I know, you're like, wait, you're just like packing it on? I'm like, yeah. So I'm gonna pack that all over and then just like blend it out with that same brush. Start to blend it out with that brush. And if you need, if there's too much pigment on there, like mine has, I'm gonna go in with just like a big fluffy brush and go over the edge. Same pink and a pencil brush. Coat that all over and I'm like really gonna smoke that out. And yes, these are pressed pigments, at least the pink is. So yes, your face might be stained for a day or two. It's all in the love of beauty. Then what I'm gonna do is, now I'm not gonna use the exact same brush for the blue, only because I need to go in and pack some blue on first. So I'm gonna take another smaller like packer brush, and we're gonna pack the blue all over the other lid on the other side. And I'm gonna go in with another small brush and that blue and do this. I need more blue. Oh wait, just kidding, I didn't even blend the top out. Great. So I'm gonna go in with a blender brush and I'm gonna start blending that blue out. I'm actually gonna pick up a little more. The blue works a little bit differently than the pink. It doesn't move as much. It's not, I don't know. It just works different. So, yeah. Like that super technical explanation. I'm like, so yeah. And that's the that on that, sis. Oh, and then what I did was, I'm going off of memory at this point, so please forgive me. I took a packer brush and I took the blue shade and I put it on the pink side in the inner corner. God, that's so pigmented, it's insane. And kind of blended that like this. Then I did the same thing with the pink on the other side. Definitely just got that like in my eyeball, but it's fine. It looks crazy, but like it also looks like really cool at the same time, I think. I may be completely wrong. You know, I've been wrong before. Now what I'm gonna do is pop on some winged eyeliner, and then I am going to pop on some lashes, and I will be right back. So you'll see how much that transforms the look too. So be right back. Alrighty, so this is the final look with lashes, with liner. I think they make a huge difference. I just realized the first time I did this look, I did white liner in the waterline. This time I forgot to do it. You can always do that if you want to. I think it looks cute. But yeah, this is the final look. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Before you leave, make sure that you give a like and subscribe and ring that notification bell down below if you'd like to be notified every time I post a video. But yeah, that is for this beginner friendly Halloween cotton candy Cheshire cat makeup skull look. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining today, and I hope you have a good one. I will see you guys next time. Bye.